What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jay Lee. It's a new video. I try to, like I said, I'm new to this, so I'm learning as I go. But I do want to try to give y'all a video every Friday, so like a story time. And this is my first little story time, so I wanted to just make it not too long, kind of quick. So I was like, I was a troubled teen, back in like, the early 2000s and stuff, man. And, I used to get locked up a lot. There's one in particular time I got locked up, man. I didn't go to juvie. I did, but then I got transferred to a place called Camp Irwin Owens. If you from anywhere in the Kern County, you're pretty familiar with it. So this situation, it's my first time ever encountering, like open races. I wanted to put this video out because I know we in like a really racial climate. We kind of always been, but you get what I'm saying. So, anyways, man, I'm about 15, man. I get locked up. I end up getting locked up for like 9 or 10 months, one of those. And I get to camp. It's like gang bang central. Everybody banging something. Everybody gang banging, man. I didn't ever gang bang, but I did call myself being cool or tight with a certain gang, But that's neither here nor there. I never got put on or nothing like that. But that's just where I grew up. Anyways, this was my first time ever encountering woods. What they call woods, peckerwoods, skinheads. I wouldn't, I don't think you could be no Aryan Brotherhood when you in your teens. But basically, they all cut from that same cloth. Anyways, so I get there, man, and it's like a dorm setup. It's like a really big dorm setup, man. So it's like bunks, it's like 80 to 100 kids all lined up in like bunks, side by side. It's not like bunk beds or nothing like that. And there was this dude, man. I ain't gonna say his last name, but his name was Kyle. His name was Kyle, and he was a Wood. And to this day, man, I don't think he was really about that, man. I think he just got peer pressured and influenced, stuff like that. But anyways, his bunk was right next to mine. We in the back. So we in the back, and he, sad to say, man, this dude he didn't know how to read or write. We like 15, 16 years old, man. He don't know how to read. He don't know how to read or write. So I used to, I used to help him read his mom's letters, and also, help him write his mom back. And that's how we kind of got cool. We got cordial, but we only would talk really when it was time to like go to bed and stuff, and we all, or we got to go to our bunks for whatever reason. We'd be cool, we chop it up, But when we get out to the yard or we exercising and stuff like that, we didn't talk, because he'd be, buddy with all the other little woods, the little racist white boys. And like I said, man, we was cool. And one day we had to go to church. We didn't have to, it was optional, but a lot of us just went because we wanted to get out the dorm. And he, like I said, we were bunked next to each other. So the way the building works is if we got to go to church or school or anything like that, we kind of line up in like the same order as our bunks. So he was right behind me or in front of me, one of those. And he, we were walking, and once you get into church, you can kind of sit wherever you want to sit. And once we got in there, he was more or less getting like not disciplined, but just like the other little woods, the other little white boys was like on his head, like, why are you being so cool with that black dude? They didn't say my name, They ain't say my name or nothing like that, but I figured they was talking about me. You know, they getting on him, and he ain't speaking up for himself, just kind of just letting them know, like, hey, bro, he helping me read and write letters to my mom. You know, that's about it. You know, and we sit right next to each other. Like, what you know, like what you expect? And we sleep right next to each other, bro. Like, I don't know what y'all expect from him, but anyways, man, I hear him talking, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it's rubbing me the wrong way, but I'm minding my business. Cause like I said, man, a camp is one of this camp that I went to, Camp Earl Owens. You could be sentenced to, like, you don't get sentenced by time, you get sentenced by points, and once you hit the certain amount of points you were sentenced to, you then could go home. But if you get in trouble in there, you get more points, meaning you go home at a later date. So I'm trying to keep my nose clean, man. I want to get up out of here. Cause I've been locked up in juvie before, bro, but it's never longer than like a month or two. This is like my first time having to stay for months and months. So I want to get home. I don't gang bang, so it's like it ain't like there's no reason for me to really get in trouble or like force myself to get in trouble. So I'm trying to just really keep my nose clean. You get what I'm saying? And yeah, man. The dude, you know, I heard him talking. The main one, the main little leader of their group, man. His name was I ain't gonna say his last name. His name was Dylan. His pops happened to be a sheriff too. You know, funny I might mention that, man, because you know it's like you acting all hardcore, man. Your pops a cop, man. You know, which they was from a part of Bakersfield called Oildale, which is like a predominantly racist part of Bakersfield, where I'm, you know, city in California where I'm from. And look, man, like I said, I wanted to keep my nose clean, but I heard him say something that just made me kind of speak up, bro. Like, kind of made me speak up, and they called me. They referred to me as the N word, a hard R. Like, we don't care, you know. You don't supposed to be talking to no, you know, hardy R's, and you know, and I'm hearing all this because I'm sitting in the row ahead of them, or two rows ahead of them at the church, and I heard that, man. I turned around like, hey, bro, what the hell you just say? Like, what you just say? And they like, hey, bro, mind your business, bro. Like, we talking to our own. I'm like, yeah, bro, but you talking about me, bro. You better watch your mouth, you know, because like I said, bro, I've never ran into no openly racist dudes, bro. I've only seen this on TV. So you know, you got me messed up, bro. You know, I'm like, hey, bro, it's my business now. Ain't nothing, you know. I was minding my business till you said that, bro. Watch your mouth. And they, you know, we kind of got the bickering back and forth, man. We in church, man. And you know, one of the guards said something like, hey, man, y'all gonna chill out or y'all gonna have to leave, you know, and y'all gonna get a write up, you know. So I'm like, all right. Now, mind you, you know, when you at this camp, you get jobs. You know, this camp kind of ran itself, so you could deal with the chickens and the cows, or just different little jobs, man. And one of the jobs was the kitchen, working in the kitchen. I happened to work in the kitchen a short amount of time too, because I ended up working in auto body, but I only worked in the kitchen for about a month. I didn't really like it, you know, which I'm about to tell you why. These white boys, you know what I'm saying, these racist white boys was they kind of ran the kitchen, bro. You know, the majority of them were in there. You know, I was the only black dude in there. And fast forward, the next day we go to work in kitchen, and you know, it's still some animosity. We never got to the bottom of our little issue. And I remember it was two of them, man. It was like four or five of them in there working in the kitchen. And then two of them told him, you know, one of them, the little leader or whatever, the little Dylan dude, told him to beat my ass, bro. And they went to go beat my ass, bro. Now, it wasn't like on the spot. They was just telling me, like, hey, talking trash, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, whatever, bro. And I go into the freezer. I guess it's where she go down, because there ain't no cameras. You know, the little free staff, the ladies that work in the kitchen and stuff like that, they don't go in there. They tell us to go in there. I go in there, bruh, and Yeah, bro, I felt somebody punch me in the back of my head. I ain't gonna lie, that shit hurt. But I immediately turned around. I see two white boys sitting right there, bro. Squaring up, which was stupid because it's like y'all should have just took off and just kept hitting me. That's where they messed up at. I ain't gonna lie, bro. The one I don't even know which one of them hit me, but the one that was closest to me, I'm assuming is him. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't knock his tooth out, but he had to go. He had to get that shit like reattached because it was just It was just hanging. You know what I'm saying? It didn't fully come out, but he wasn't gonna be able to eat on that motherfucker. We went at it. The other one jumped on my back. I'm skinny, bro. I'm skinny now. I was skinny then. And he jumped on my back and went to the floor. And the one that because one I hit, I loosened his tooth, but he was just holding his mouth the whole time. He ain't even want no more problems after that. And the one that jumped on my back, we get to tussling, and we fucking that freezer up, bro. All the little little shells. We knocking shells down and stuff, man. And I'm squirmy, bro. Hey, look, when I was a little side note, growing up, bro, like my little nickname was Squirmy, because when we used to play football, bro, I used to squirm out of all the tackles. They just started calling me Squirmy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I squirmed up out of there, man. And hey, bro, I got up quicker than him. He was still on his knees getting ready to get, man. I had all free shots to his head, his face. I gave his ass a business, bro, like a suit and tie, bro. I whipped both of their ass in that kitchen, me in that freezer, bro. I did, but the crazy thing is we didn't get caught. We didn't get caught. The dude, because this is kind of towards the end of our little shift, and even though his mouth was bleeding and stuff like that, I don't know what he did. I was expecting to get locked up, or get in trouble and all that, but they kept it gangster, bro. They didn't snitch. That Dylan dude, because I found out from the Kyle dude that I bunked next to, that he's the one that told them two white boys to go in there and beat me up. And yeah, bro, that shit was it was a trip. It was a trip, bro. We didn't get caught. They did figure somebody put hands on them, but tooth messed up. I don't know what he told the COs and stuff, but yeah, man. Fast forward, dude, the Dylan dude, the little leader of the Woods or whatever. Yeah, man, the little leader, man, he ended up getting punched out. Didn't swing back or nothing, bro. He got punched out by a Mexican. I forgot where he was from. I think he was from Loma, or Loma Bakers, or no, he's from Lamont. He was from Barrio Chico, Lamont. That's where he was from. I forgot the dude's name, bro. But he socked Dylan, bro, hard, because Dylan had a little mouth on him, bro. He socked Dylan so hard, but Dylan turned around, ran underneath the ping pong table, bro, and just waited for the COs to come, come break it up or save him. He went out like a bitch. But yeah, man, that was the end of his story. You know what I'm saying? They switched him to another unit. But that's my little story time for today, man. And I just wanted to bring that to y'all, man, because like I said, we in a racial climate. But that Kyle dude, how his little story ended is they ended up going AWOL. Him and some other dudes broke out. They ran and they broke out. They were on the news. They broke out of the camp and at night, and they made it down to somebody's house. Somebody's house, and they broke into somebody's house, went to try to steal their car, and the homeowner had a gun, and he almost shot them. Luckily, he didn't, but that was it for them. That was the last time I ever seen that Kyle dude, but. Yeah, man. Like I said, man, I just brought y'all that story to just say, hey, even though we in a racial climate, because that Kyle dude, man, me and him was cool after that, man. He kind of broke away from them dudes. You know, even though he was running with him, and it just goes to show, man. Like, hey, bro, even when you see somebody, they may seem racist. You know, even if they say racist shit, cause I'm pretty sure he did just to fit in. You know, man, everybody not that ain't in their heart. It's not always in their heart to be racist, bro. You know, we all are a lot all the time, bro. All these racist people, they're born into that. You know, they're raised into that. That's not really always in their heart. But yeah, man, that's my story time Friday for y'all, man. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all go ahead and like and subscribe. Yeah, man, it's the beginning of the channel. Some growing pains. I'm learning as I go. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And hey, man, y'all stay blessed. All right.